Hello viewers, welcome to the Indian Royal Legal Tips, where we explore our ideas and trends and share our views on legal topics. I am your host Shikha Pandey, and our topic for today is the intellectual property rights. And to discuss that, we're having our consultant at the Indian Royal Rights Services, Advocate Sushila. Welcome back.
Thank you, Shikha. That's a good topic. Intellectual property rights, or IPR as it is more often known, is an extremely important part of the business and commercial world today because it creates a certain identity for the business. It also sometimes creates a symbol or a trademark for a business. Hence, I would say it's an extremely important aspect and you've chosen well. What is intellectual property rights? Intellectual property refers to intangible assets like inventions, literary and artistic works, designs, symbols, names, and images that are used in the commercial world.
And moving forward, can you please tell us what are the IPRs that India recognizes?
Yes. India has recognized six types of intellectual property rights. They are patents, that is an invention, trademarks, that is an identity, copyrights, that is what you have created. It could be an artistic work, it could be a book that you have written, it could be an article. Then designs, which are used, different types of designs. It could be product designs, it could be an artistic design, it could be something used by the manufacturers. Then you have something called trade secrets, that is, you have a secret by which you are formulating a particular kind of product, like say Coca-Cola, they would have a trade secret. And then geographical indications, which necessarily means that a particular area has a particular kind of product and it is recognized because of that geographical indication.
Okay, ma'am, that's great to know this answer. My next question is, what is the legal privileges that granted to the inventors?
Essentially, IPR is a legal privilege that is granted to the inventor or creator to safeguard the intellectual property work. That is, it could be in the form of an art, it could be in the form of science, literature, and this protection is given for a certain specific period of time. These legal rights grant the inventor or the creator, or in case he has sold it or assigned it to somebody, the assignee, the sole right to fully exploit the invention for a specific period of time.
So now, as we understand the legal privileges for our inventors, can we move forward with the meaning of patents?
Yes, a patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention. Patents benefit inventors by providing them legal protection of their inventions. Now, please understand that when a patent is created, the creator has spent a lot of time in creating that particular work. So, obviously, the technical information that he has access to should be protected from the public, and that is what patent means, and that is what patent protection means. Now, patent protection is generally given for a period of 20 years.
Ma'am, what is copyright?
Copyright is a work that can be a computer program, a database, an advertisement, a map, a technical drawing. It could be a film, it could be a book, it could be music, paintings, sculptures, films. All these works are collectively known as copyright. That is, it's a creation that has been created by the person, the inventor, and this copyright will last for the lifetime of the author, that is 60 years. So if you have written a book, you have a copyright for 60 years, that is considered to be the lifespan of the creator.
Moving forward, can you please explain about the industrial designs?
An industrial design, Shikha, is I would say it's a decorative or aesthetic component of an object. For instance, it could be a two-dimensional or three-dimensional pattern. It could be a certain color combination. There could be a three-dimensional element like the shape or surface of an object.
After industrial designs, we would like to know about the geographical indication.
Yes. Now, geographical indications are very area specific. When you say geography, it obviously means something to do with an area. Now, geographical indications and appellations of origin are labels on products that have been produced in a particular geographical area. And they have the qualities or the recognition or the characteristics located to a particular area. For instance, I would say Champagne. Champagne is associated with a place in France called Champagne. It is not the name of the drink, but it is actually a geographical indication which is recognized worldwide as something that belongs to France.
Is there any term of trade secret, ma'am? Can you please tell us about
Yes. Trade secrets are intellectual property rights or private information. For instance, take the example of Pepsi. Now, Pepsi is what a trade secret on how to produce the drink Pepsi. So you will have, only the Pepsi team will know what is the kind of combination that they're using to create the drink Pepsi. Now, trade secrets are mostly protected by way of a non-disclosure agreement. So basically, if Pepsi has a franchisee, they will enter into an NDA with the franchisee that we are giving you the trade secret, but you cannot divulge it to any third party. And if you do that, you are in trouble.
Ma'am, to get more information, I just wanted to know about what is trademark.
Trademark is probably the most important intellectual property right. It is a symbol that can be used to separate the products or services of one company from those of another. It could be a logo, it could be a word, it could be a mark, or even a color combination can be included in a trademark. Trademark is probably, I would say, the most important IPR for the simple reason that when you look at a trademark, you associate it with a particular business. Now, when we see Coca-Cola written in the red and white, we immediately associate it with the company Coca-Cola. So, what happens is the trademark is what creates a brand or an identity. And it is this brand or identity that is today sold in the commercial world as one of the biggest assets of a company.
Now that we understood the different types of IPRs, can you please tell the importance of IPR protection?
Yes. Now, the importance of IPR protection is the first, I would say, is the security. If your IPR is protected, you are secure in the fact that nobody else can use it. Secondly, when you have IPR protection, it gives you a competitive advantage over your business rivals. So, if you have an IPR, people associate you with that particular brand or that particular name. It's a trademark. So obviously there's a competitive advantage when you're using it. Again, there is something called customer loyalty. When you create a brand or a product that customers grow to love and trust, you can ensure that your customers will keep coming back for more and more. Another important aspect is that if you are able to control and license your IPR, you can actually generate a lot of revenue from that licensing. And another very important aspect that has come up with IPR protection is that you're able to raise capital. For instance, if you have a brand name or a trade name like Coca-Cola, there will be many people who will be happy to help you to raise funds. So in a way, it actually fuels the growth of your business.
So now, ma'am, can you discuss some important case laws for trademark and copyrights?
One of the most important cases in recent times is the case of Rajat Sharma, who uses the program Aapki Adalat. Now, what happens is this program has already got some recognition. In the meanwhile, somebody started another program called Aapki Adalat. Now, Rajat Sharma obviously challenged this in the High Court of Delhi, saying that Aapki Adalat was a brand or a reputation that he had created amongst the public. And by using a title called Aapki Adalat, the respondents were actually causing him harm, and they were damaging Rajat Sharma's brand and reputation. And as such, he wanted a restraining order that the respondent should not be allowed to use Aapki Adalat. The Delhi High Court, after looking at all aspects of the case, granted Rajat Sharma the relief he was seeking, and Aapki Adalat was not allowed to be used by the respondents. Let me also discuss another very important case that came up recently. It's again, it's of the Delhi High Court. It's called Phonographic Performance Limited versus Al-Hamad Trade Nation. Again, a 2024 judgment. Now, in this particular case, there is a company called Phonographic Performance Limited, which has Indian songs and rights and on 370 music labels. Al-Hamad Trade Nation is a company that was organizing an event in Lutyens, Delhi, and they plan to use some of the music labels that belong to the petitioner. Now, what happened was the petitioner, in short, PPL, told Al-Hamad that you cannot use our labels without taking express permission. And in order to use it, we will give you a license, and that license will come at a price of 55,440. But Al-Hamad was not ready to pay that. He said, I'm ready to only pay 16,500. If you are interested, take this money and I will use your music. If not, I'm using it anyway. So PPL went to the Delhi High Court, informed the Delhi High Court that since they had the copyright for 370 labels, nobody could use it without their permission. The Delhi High Court ruled in their favor, and Al-Hamad was restrained from using the music of PPL without paying them the charges that they had demanded.
Ma'am, how would you like to conclude this topic?
Yes, I would say that today an intangible asset like an intellectual property right has gained extreme importance in the business and commercial world. First, because it creates visibility and a brand. And secondly, because of this visibility and brand, customers are able to show customer loyalty. So it is extremely important that these rights have to be protected. The only way you can protect your intellectual property rights is by applying for registration. Now, in order to do this, you have to contact a lawyer who will help you to register your copyright or your trademark or your design or your geographical indication. And based on that, you can have free usage for a number of years without anybody. In case somebody violates your license, then in such a case, you have the option of going to the court of law and saying that I'm the registered licensee of this particular product, and it is being misused by somebody, and hence I want a restraining order or an order for permanent injunction restraining third parties from using what is my right in a particular intellectual property. So, dear viewers, I would advise that if you have a patent, a trademark, a design, or any other type, or a copyright, any other type of intellectual property, do go ahead and get it registered so that you can have peaceful usage of the same and not spend sleepless nights when somebody tries to copy it. Dear viewers, if you have found this program useful, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to be notified of our weekly episodes, press on the bell icon and you will be notified. One small word of caution: the tips we are giving is not legal advice. Legal advice depends from case to case. So if you want any legal advice, you must approach a lawyer with whatever issues you have, and only take this particular program as a legal tip that guides you in the right direction. And with this, thank you.